In 1849, George Washington Lechler came to California in search of gold, but he found it more profitable to drive the stage for the Butterfield stage line in Wells Fargo. One day, a gang tried to rob Lechler's stage, and when the dust cleared, 3 bad men lay dead, and George notched his 6-shooter. Hello, my name is Philip Scorza, and I would like to welcome you to our show, Points of Interest. The history of the Lechler family and the town of Piru are intertwined. For instance, George Washington Lechler married Abigail Hazard, and they homesteaded some property up Lechler Canyon around 1868. A few years later, a man named David Cook, who was a publisher out of Elgin, Illinois, bought the Piru Fruit Rancho from the DeValier brothers, and he started the town of Piru. Cook not only built the Piru Mansion, but he also built the Piru Hotel, which he sold a few years later to the Lechlers. In 1912, Harry Lechler was born in the old hotel. He spent his growing up years there, and eventually he started the general merchandise store, which he ran here in Piru until 1972, when he retired. Today, Harry Lechler runs the Lechler Museum. It's a place that is open by appointment only, a place where Harry will personally take you around and tell you the story of his family's contribution to the founding of this town. Welcome to the history of Piru and the Lechler Museum. Well, here we are. We're in front of the Lechler Museum here in Piru. Harry Lechler, come on in here. Say hi to my audience. How are you?
Fine.
Thanks for inviting us out today.
Glad to have you.
What we're going to do is we're going to walk around your museum, maybe walk around outside first, take a look at some of the stuff you've collected and some of the stuff inside. First, tell me, how long have you been collecting this stuff?
Well, I think I started about when I was 10 years old, I think. Everybody called me a pack rat around here.
Oh, is that right?
So I built the museum, the big building, in '69, but
okay.
I started in a room upstairs, and that was back in about 45, 47
okay.
is when I really started it.
Okay, well, what do you say we take a walk around and let's start outside here, shall we?
Okay.
Of course, Piru was a fruit-growing area. You had citrus groves and stuff like that, but you also had ranches, farms here,
oh,
too?
Yeah, they had that and cattle and wells, oil wells come in. And
what are these? These look like plows. Are these plows? Is this
no,
the thing you
those
stand
are,
behind?
Cultivators is what they are.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing some work there.
Oh, that's good.
Cultivators there and planters over here. They have different kinds of planters. And that bell, that came from the schoolhouse when they built the dam up here. That was a Temescal school. And that's the bell from up there. They had to tear the school down when they put the dam in.
I was going to say, now Lake Piru, which is 6 miles north of us here, that was built on the site of Temescal?
Yeah.
Was that a town, Temescal?
No, it was one of the ranches that they had there.
Oh, I see. Okay. I notice you got a lot of saws on the wall over there. Those are the kind where 2 men have to work on.
That's right, 2 men saws.
In harmony, I think it is. Yeah,
yeah, very much so. This is a single tree, in other words, 1 horse, double tree.
Oh, I see.
And triple tree. 1 horse, 2 horse, 3 horse.
1 horse, 2 horse, 3 horse.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that would be used to pull a wagon of whatever freight wagon.
Plow or whatever it might be.
Okay.
You just don't know what it'd be. Naturally, when it's 3 horses, why, it's probably a scraper or something heavy, you see.
Something,
3 horses.
Right.
So,
and some of the other stuff here.
This is very interesting.
What is that?
Yeah, this is a side hill plow, as we call it. If the hill is sloped like that, the hill is sloping here, why the way that's set, it would be throwing the dirt uphill.
Yes.
And the dirt would be rolling back down. So just watch this. Now we're going to go downhill.
Oh, very good.
Now it's going downhill.
Now that, yes, I see. So you keep pushing
so when you come back, why, you leave it like that, it'll be uphill again. So we put it this way.
Say, that's pretty clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too common.
Did you have a ranch too, a farm?
Oh, yes, I was up there where my granddad homesteaded, my dad homesteaded.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Up there, yeah.
I see.
The way my granddad got it, well, there was a fellow that owed him some money. The fellow said, well, I'm going back east, and I won't be back. So he says, I do have some property up here. I started a homestead on it. Now, if you want to go and take a look at it and see if you'll accept that for what I owe you. So my granddad came up there, and here it was. It had some bees on it, and spring and everything, beautiful, big oak trees and everything.
And your grandfather won this in a card game or what?
No, he was running he was working at a saloon at the time, and then one of the guys borrowed money from him.
Oh, okay.
And so anyhow, that's the way he got started. And then my dad, when he got older, homesteaded. And my mother's dad homesteaded and all. It ended up about 500 acres.
And the homestead is still in the family's name, right?
Yeah, it's all in the family.
I know we have some photos of the homestead.
It's all in the family yet. But there's about, I think it's 12 homes in there now, all related.
Oh, is that right? Relatives live up there?
Relatives and nieces and nephews and
that's nice.
Daughter and what have you.
So you've got your own little community then.
Oh, yeah.
All from Grandpa's loaning somebody money in a bar.
That's the way it started, yeah.
That machine on our left there, what is that?
That's a big hay baler.
Hay baler?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is
cyclone.
That's a
cultivator. It cuts the weeds. You see, those blades go under the ground and cut the weeds.
So that cuts the weeds.
Yeah.
And that thing behind it, I've seen, that's another one of those. Plow. And this big thing here, what is this?
Well, that's just a wagon that they used to put a tank on there and carry the water to new trees, young trees, such as that.
Okay. Harry tells me this is a manure spreader. I've always wanted one of these. Yeah. And what do we got in this building over here, Harry?
Well, we'll sure show you. Homestead my dad got in '92 was signed by the president Benjamin Harrison.
Now, was this a different homestead than the one up Lechler Canyon?
Well, it's all together.
Oh, it's all together.
All run together, yeah.
And just so we know, a homestead is you get the land for free, but you have to prove up on it so many years in a row until they give you title to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's improvements.
And the improvements
fences
could be
barns, a house.
Okay.
Anything to improvements.
Good. I'm curious, when did you get electricity up in Lechler Canyon then?
Oh, I can remember the old candles and the old lamps, all right. Well, I'd say it's probably 30, 35 years ago, all of that.
That's not that long ago then, is it?
Yeah, I'd say all of that. It might be a little longer. I actually don't pay much attention when stuff comes in. I mean, you're happy it comes in, but it's probably a little longer than that.
Now, how about a branding iron? Do you have a branding iron here by any chance?
Where's my dad's branding iron? W.L. William Lechler.
Okay.
He said he got it in 1894.
Okay. And here's the iron here. Right.
That's it.
Right.
And
you have some more branding irons here.
Yeah.
I figured if I had a ranch, my brand would be the Lazy S. Lazy S.
Well, especially lazy.
You got that one, Harry. So you just don't have stuff here from the Piru area, then you've got some things that other people have brought in on their travels.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And brought here.
I get people who want to buy things from me too, and I never sell. A fellow offered me that little reel stand against the box.
Yes.
Offered me $50 for that.
Really?
And I told him no. And he said, I'll give you merchandise more than $50. I said, nope. Well, why not? I said, the guy that gave it to me didn't give it to me to sell.
Okay.
He gave it to me for you fellows to see.
Okay. Shall we go next door? Shall we go next door?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Well, this room here, this is the main room, I guess you would call this the main place where you keep a lot of the personal artifacts that people have collected.
The better items.
So, your grandfather, you were telling me.
Yeah, Granddad came here, and when he was 16 years old, from Pennsylvania to Bishop, California, for the gold rush. He didn't do too good, and he became 17, so he decided he's going to go back to Pennsylvania, so he got a job scouting a wagon train back to Pennsylvania. He got back to Pennsylvania, decided that California was better after all, and he came back on out. Later in life, one of his jobs was driving stagecoach in Lone Pine, Arizona for the Butterfield stage. And this is his old 36 caliber Colt Navy that he carried. He had a load each one, and you had the balls and all you put in and tamp it down, and then you got 6 shots. If you don't get them in 6 shots, you throw it at them and run, I guess. But in one there in one of the stage depots, there was 5 holdup men, and he killed 3 out of the 5, and he got his 3 notches down here. He didn't put them up here and brag what he did. He did what he had to do. Mm-hmm. He said that if it wasn't for his cousins coming from the mines to the stagecoach, and the window faced the road where they were coming, the other two saw them coming. They took out the back door. He said, I wouldn't be here to tell you the story, because he said, I couldn't have got all 5 of them.
So he managed to get 3 out of the 5.
He got 3 out of the 5, and that's these little notches.
The other 2 got away, huh?
Yeah, they got away.
Now, did you know your grandfather? Was he?
No, he passed on before I was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yes, it is a heavy gun.
Well, in the movies, it looks like they just twirl them on their fingers. It's real light, but these guns are fairly heavy.
That's a little later stuff. This is pretty old. This is really heavy. Yeah. Oh, you could get it, I guess, but
yeah.
This switchboard took care of the whole community.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So the phone operator was in the hotel then? Or?
Yes.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if that rings, this drops down there, and you would get this in here, and just like they do now, or did, number please. Well, they want the Lechler Ranch. Mm-hmm. Well, Lechler Ranch is just one of 7 phones that are on that line. It's all a party line.
Oh, okay.
And so they want the Lechler Ranch, so you put it over here. If I put it on the wrong one, it'd get the line going the other way. So you got to be sure to get on the right one.
Okay.
So you bring a long and 3 short. You long, 1, 2, 3. Our ranch up there answers. Mm-hmm. The other 6 people just listen.
That's like the old party line then. So you better not have anything that you want to keep from your neighbors then.
That's right. And well, you get a kick out of you. You'd say, I wish they'd feed that baby. I'm tired of hearing it cry. And you'd hear them hang up. Or you'd say, I wish they'd change that record. I don't like that song. And you'd hear them shut the old Victrola off. So you get quite a kick out of it. This is the original chair. It went with the roller top desk.
Okay.
And the inkwell.
Okay.
And we have the registration book.
This is the old hotel. It was the Piru Hotel, I guess, right?
It goes back to 1907.
Now, your dad was he owned the hotel.
Right.
Okay.
He bought it in 1911. I was born there in 1912.
Okay, and of course your father ran it. So this was the family business, was running the hotel.
Well,
one of the family businesses.
My mother did most of the running of the hotel.
Okay.
Dad would go up the ranch. He had his cattle, the bees, and everything. Mm-hmm. And he'd come down and stay 3 or 4 days and go back about every other week or once a week.
I was just curious, when you were growing up as a young person, what was your job in the hotel? What did you have to do?
Emptying the slop jars.
Okay. No more need be said, I think. Who's famous in here? Who stayed here that we want to...
Well, I was just going to say, a fellow came here and I just opened this book, just happened to open it like that. He said, wait a minute, that's my aunt.
No, really?
And that was 1908.
1908, his aunt stayed
and
there.
He says that she had the ranch, and he has the ranch now.
No kidding. Well, there's a Snodgrass and wife over here, I see. Yeah. A couple of Snodgrasses stayed here. This is
and here,
a good place for Snodgrasses.
My folks didn't buy it in 1911. This is 1908. Now, here's where my mother and dad come down. They called it Ranch Oak Park.
Oh, so your parents stayed here before they bought the place.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But they were married then, Harry, right?
Oh, I think so. Right. Yeah, I think so. Then, in 1910, they took a moving picture here at Camulus of Ramona.
Oh, yes, the famous silent film.
There's Mary Pickford.
Mary Pickford stayed here.
And here's W.D. Griffiths, the great director.
Holy cow, Mr. Griffith Pickford?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. How many rooms did the hotel have?
There was 12 upstairs.
Okay. Wonder how many Smiths are in this directory, huh?
Of course, they condemned one of them.
They condemned one. Well, let's walk around and get a look at this place.
And you get service. You get tired of waiting for it. You get your service with that.
Oh, my.
And of course, this is...
So this is all furniture from the hotel?
Oh, yeah. There's the ones I had to empty.
There's the one Harry had to empty. I guess you can get pretty good at a thing like that. So these are dressers and chairs. This is the furniture. It was a nice-looking furniture then. Oh, look, and you had the name Lechler was on the towels.
Yeah, those are original towels.
Those original towels. Okay. This is all behind us here. This is all furniture from the hotel.
Yeah, every room had a dresser. Mm-hmm. And this was in the dining room.
Oh, that's a very nice piece. Yeah.
That was all. That's all the hotel stuff.
This isn't the food you had there, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a couple of heads on the wall here, I see.
Yeah, I love to hunt and fish.
Uh-huh. You got some birds. Somebody's done some nice taxidermy work around.
Yeah, there's about 4 different ones.
Yeah.
Here's one here that...
Oh, yeah. Take a look at this, Joe.
But early days, they put all the fruit and vegetables and stuff in the storerooms. They had to can everything. And the old man always put the shelf so high the housewife couldn't reach it.
Okay.
So she had a chair to stand on to reach it. But when she wanted to stand on that chair, she'd take it like this.
That's pretty clever. That's nice.
That's the first harmonica I bought. It's 65 years old. It cost me 1 day's work. It cost $1.50, and that's what I was working for, 1 day of work. This is the one I try to learn to play on. These are all of them are at least 60 years old. Did I get this one?
What's that one on the end that looks like a harp?
This one over here, did I get that? Yeah, let's see, you got this. And this one here. This one. And this one I normally play, but my fingers are stiffened up and I can't, but if you guys will bear with me, I'll try to play it. Okay.
Don't swallow.
Yeah.
Don't hit him in the back. Don't hit him in the back.
This was my granddad, my mother's dad, just well over 100-year-old. This one here, I bought about 8 months ago. About 8 months ago, I bought this. Cost me 1 day's work. $65. I think that's about all of them. Well, this one here is kind of a hard one to play. You just can't really play.
I think we should talk about his soldier collection, because this is really neat. These are World War I toys, right?
Yeah, these World War I. See, they're metal. There's a guy on the stretcher. Here's one with the parachute. Here's one with his arm in the sling. Here's one in the sleeping bag. Here's one with a gas mask on.
Are these your toys? Did you collect
No,
them?
they were my nephew.
Oh, wow.
He's about as old as I am.
Okay.
I was the youngest kid of 9, and so the older get married, their kids are about the same time.
Oh, so you were the youngest of 9 then?
Yeah.
Do you have any brothers and sisters that are
still
with us?
I have one sister living 97, and I got one brother 2 years older than I am.
Well, you have longevity in your family.
All of them lived over 80 years.
How about your parents? Did they live?
Dad was 93 when he passed away, and Mother, I think, was 80, 84, 85.
Now, how about George Washington Lechler? How old was he when he passed away?
I really don't know. I don't know. But like I say, he died before I was born, so I don't know.
Well, let's go around this way. Okay, tell me about this.
Well, I used to shine shoes down the barber shop. It cost 10 cents a shine.
Okay.
Once in a while, some of the oil workers get to working, you get better pay. Well, you get the guy donates you 25 cents.
I see.
It made you feel awful good.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
1912, the year I was born, is a full calendar.
Oh, wow.
1912.
Wow. Are these any people that...
Those are all our relation, but I couldn't name them. Boy, I'll tell you.
When was this picture of Main Street, Piru taken?
About 1915, I'd say. What happened is they taken our railroad up from here to Newhall.
Yes.
There's Mary Pickford.
Okay, this was built... What year was this hotel built in?
Well, kind of a little guess on that. I'd say about 1887, 89, in there somewhere.
Mr. Cook, who had the mansion, built this, you think, or you're not sure, or what?
Well, what they did, they had a single-story house just below the mansion.
Okay.
And they moved it down here, and then they built the upstairs on it.
All right.
So it's made it a two-story. There's 12 rooms upstairs.
And your father bought it in what year?
1911.
1911, and of course you were born the next year, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a nice old place. Is it used for anything now? It's
No, that's just like those say those people are taking care of it, but it was used as a rest home, and I guess it's for sale. But I think what worries everybody is that it doesn't have the cement foundation, and if they would turn it to a rest home again, well, they'd have to go to all that expense and trouble of fixing it up. So
I see.
unless somebody feels they had the money to do it and it was worth it, they'd do it.
Because it would make a terrific bed and breakfast, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it, though?
Yeah, it really would be very nice.
Originally, these brick steps weren't there. It was just railings down on both sides and board.
Yeah, because you showed us quite a few pictures of the old hotel.
Yeah.
So were these trees here when you were growing up?
My daughter and my son each planted one of these.
Is that right?
Trees here.
My goodness. They're huge.
Yeah. They're quite heavy. Yeah.
Well, we're right here on Main. I guess this is Main Street, almost the corner of Main and Center. Can we walk around a little bit and see what Piru looks like, too?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't take too long to see Piru.
Well, it doesn't take too long. Well, let's go over here, then. So this is the corner of Center and Main Street.
Right. Now, this old round rock.
Yeah.
I remember the days that I used to try to jump on it and couldn't get up there. Now I look down on it.
So, wait a minute. So this was why your father renamed the hotel?
Right.
The Round Rock Hotel.
Right.
That rock was there.
Well, I guess it was there at the time, although I asked him where did it come from.
Yeah.
And he said it came from up in the canyon here.
Okay, so right behind us is this was Harry's general store. You had everything a person could want in here, correct?
Well, tried to have.
The guns, the sporting goods, the household appliances, the plumbing, the electric, whatever you needed.
Yeah.
Right. Next door was the water place.
That's the water place.
And, of course, you took 2 stores here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the other. I had my groceries and
and then on the corner there was the bank.
On the corner of the bank, and this side was a barber shop.
And the barber shop was this side, right. Across the street you had your grocery store, you had your drugstore. Of course, you had your hotel on the corner.
Doctor's office on the corner up there.
Doctor's office on the corner.
Yeah. The space in there is where that general store was that I've worked.
General
I
store
worked
was
there
here?
about eight years, yeah.
And the railroad tracks came right through here where these trees are.
Yeah, just the other side of it.
The station was off to the right. And you told me that brown building down there is the old livery stable,
Yeah,
right?
the old livery stable.
We have a photo of that, I think. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm curious, the building on the right side there, that curved building there, what is that? What was that?
Well, the old garage. And,
yeah.
Yeah, the garage, gas station.
So you had everything you needed right here in this little 2-block square area.
Now we don't even have a gas station.
No, yeah. Well, times they are a-changing, aren't they?
It's not growing, it's growing worse.
Well, we've had a really terrific time coming out to the Lechler Museum and you showing us around downtown Piru here and giving us a little bit of the history of both your family and the town. For people who want to come out and see the Lechler Museum, how do they get a hold of you? What do they do?
Well, the main thing would be to look it up in telephone books if you got Ventura County.
Right.
And make the appointment.
Just make an appointment and you'll
make an appointment, and as you did, you did yourself, you made it ahead of time. Or I had people, in fact, before you came this morning, I had 2 people come at the door and wanted to know if they could see the museum. I said, well, I've got about an hour I can show you instead of the 2 hours that it takes.
Okay, great.
So I said I showed them an hour, and they said they're going to be back to see the other hour.
Good, good. So people want to just take a drive up to Piru and come by your museum, that's okay too then?
If I'm not busy or anything tied up about it.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank you very much for showing us around. This has been just a terrific time. Thank you, Harry.
Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you very much.
See you again.
Until next time, this is Philip Scorza for Points of Interest.